What's up, everyone?
All right, JD's and Lettlemans. We are live for episode 75. We're almost at 100. Really cool. But we got Toxic Baits himself. Ultimately, I mean, I'm excited to have you on again. You've been, in this community for, well, the fishing community for a long time, but within our community and watching us like start up and blossom has been awesome, and just the support that you've given us as well. So I'm excited to have you back on. I'm also excited to talk about all your new endeavors too.
Yeah.
Hey, clean your camera a little bit, Daniel.
It seems like it's like a bad connection, to be honest with you.
You think so?
It's a little of both.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay.
No, clean it. I bet it's a little foggy.
It probably is.
Bam!
That
What?
light
Charlie
is
was
really
right.
harsh, and it's,
What?
right on my face.
Well, yeah, man. Like Daniel said, stoked to have you on. Stoked to talk about what you have for PCS.
Yeah.
This is going to be our first episode leading to PCS, right, guys?
Yeah, this week and next week, we're going to be PCS heavy. Last week I was pouring on stream. This week, I'm going to be finishing up some well, you guys can't even see it because of the light, but all right. Yeah, I'm going to be finishing up some slugs in that bubblegum color, that vibrant pink with kind of a lighter rose gold pink almost on the belly. So
But let's start.
pink color in the pink.
Lost his connection.
Between now and PCS.
Go ahead and mute him, Charlie.
I can't.
Mute me?
No, Daniel, we lost you for a while.
Daniel sounded
But,
like we did.
can you guys
Daniel
hear me
sounded
now?
like a robot that got.
It sounded
dipped
like your
in
phone
water.
dipped in water. Anyways, so let's start with this. Caesar, what you had going on this week or weekend? Did you fish? Did you?
Weekend. What's today? I don't even know what the day is. Oh, I fished last week. I was sick. I got sick for like a week. Oh, I'm still like, there's a little bit left. That bug that's going around is kind of nasty.
Dude, a lot of people's been getting that, man.
Dude, I had that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so it kind of put me out of commission, but I was able to get out and fish the walls. It changed a little bit since the rain. I was able to go out before the rain and absolutely just put a hammer on them. And then,
Dude, I wanted to get out before the rain so bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of bait in the system now. Like the fish are eating constantly, so it seems like you got to get them on the right tide.
We were out. It was like the day after the fires started, and I'm not a scientist, so I don't have the answers, but I don't know if it had to do with all the ash falling, because you could, like, there was ash covering the boat, and the bait was going so nuts it sounded like it was raining, which most of us have heard that before, where the bait sounds like it's raining. It went on for over an hour, and we just murdered them during that hour. I think we had like a 56 fish night, and 30 of them were caught in that hour that the bait were going nuts.
Nice.
But like, there were bait in my transom. There was bait that had gotten stuck in my transom.
There's a lot there now. There's all kinds of different kinds there. When it first hit though, when it was like it was real clear and everything, and the bait.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. There wasn't even a person at the ramp, and I couldn't even lift my arms up after my day. I caught so many fish,
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like the right kind of day.
Right.
But today, but the last time it just seemed there's a lot of trash out there and stuff. So I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out on Thursday and throw this my new 8-inch. It's a line through.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I'm just gonna put, it's made to sink, but I'm gonna put a bullet weight right there and just buzz it around. I mean, I have a weedless one too, but that's a big bait. That's like
So what does that fit? A 8-aught?
This is a 12-aught.
12-aught? Dude, that looks small.
You know about Daniel's custom weights?
Is custom weights?
Yeah, Daniel
He's got-
makes beast hooks, but he makes them in sizes owners doesn't make, so you can get like
Oh, the bigger
a 1
ones.
ounce, an ounce and a half, a 2 ounce.
Yeah. I mean, I just put a
Shameless
bullet
plug,
weight on it.
guys. I am
just put a
all
bullet weight
stocked
on
up
the
on 12-aughts. So if you guys are looking for 12s, hit me up.
Yeah, there you go.
If
No,
you
I-
guys don't want to just throw a bullet weight on yours, if you want to use a sick beast hook,
Oh, are we promoting sales now? Is that what?
hey, hey, the sales aren't going to promote themselves.
I just prefer this, right? Like with the beast,
So
you don't
okay.
Yeah.
swim down. If you have enough weight on the front of your swim bait, it's going to pull the
Mhm.
I do it on freshwater and everything. I think besides horizontally presenting swim baits in shallow or with fish feeding upwards, most of the time I put a peg of weight on the front of the beast hook.
How
I
heavy is the
often
peg?
I often do Texas rig.
Yeah, that's what I mean. On a beast hook, I just put the thing. I don't know, 2, 3, 4 ounce, whatever. I don't care.
Okay.
However deep I'm fishing, or
Yeah.
or a 1/4 ounce if I'm fishing shallow. Just something. You want something, but a lot of times, like if it's real shallow, I don't want to put too much there because then you stop the head wiggle.
Mhm.
But like when I started coming out here, and I'm like, oh, I'll throw this in 60 feet. I don't care. I'll put anything on there. Put like 20 egg sinkers on there. Don't matter to me. They still bite it. So
For sure.
So yeah, that's what I'm down here. Like, like I live right by. I live in like Los Alamitos area. So I just love fishing. So I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be making baits for the area I'm in. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've been fishing hard for like 30 years now. So, well, yeah, maybe a little less than 30, but
So you're coming up on how long has it been that you've been here? Like stationed here?
September I moved here. Moved in with my lady.
So how's that transition been, like fishing wise?
Fishing's fine. The business is hard because now I don't have my my partner Tommy, or the guy that worked for me, Tommy, who did a lot of the bait building for years and years. Like he just decided to move on to he had a kid and wanted to move on, So now I just decided to not hire anybody else and just roll me. And I have all the ABS that's hitting the stores, and the OMR Junior is scheduled for late spring drop. 5,000 packs are coming, so those should be in all the stores. And
Do you still have the shop?
no, I closed the shop and everything. I don't have a retail front or nothing. To be honest with you, I've changed the direction of my company because I didn't, I want to grow it in as a large brand. Like I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving to manufacturing for all my baits eventually, but
Yeah.
it's a point of how much money can I spend? I don't have a lot of,
Yeah, dude, you could do everything if you got the money.
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. I got more stuff going on. I got cool stuff. I'm learning about that side of it, about the business side. My girlfriend's amazing. She knows all that stuff. I have a lawyer, a trademark attorney, and all the things that I didn't know that if you want to swim with the sharks, you gotta
Yeah.
Because you just got trademarked, huh? Not so long ago.
I just received the official letter. Yeah.
Nice.
Ago. I didn't even think about any of those things, but she really helped me with so much, even my website, all that stuff, all my upgrades. I have a bunch of more cool web stuff that's about to drop soon. I'm really changing the direction for Toxic, not in what I'm doing, but trying to grow it in a large capacity. I just picked up somebody on my pro staff I'm going to talk about at PCS. It's local and creates content for Spotties and Calico that I think is chill with Toxic or whatever. I'm looking to sponsor a team down here of the saltwater guys that are, and
that's awesome.
And just grow in all the directions that I need to grow. And get more, I'm just getting more familiar with my surroundings of everything, right? It's hard for me to come from the Delta and do all the things I was doing up there, but I got to do some research. But like once I do some research about what permitting or anything that it might take to have saltwater tournaments, well, I'll have some toxic baits, calico, and like bay bass tournaments or whatever.
That's awesome.
I have experience doing these things, right? So I don't plan on stopping any of that. I really just needed, to be honest with you, like a life shift. I had a lot of bad for a lot of years, and I needed to change my life and for myself. So last year actually was like a rough year, like for production and money and stuff, because I just prioritized myself. But now I'm here. I'm ready to run. I came down here. I didn't need inspiration, but I love fishing all types of stuff, like every type of fishing. Even though I love swim baits, like of course I came down here. I'm catching them on smaller stuff, but I need to upgrade my bites. I got like a 10-inch flood. I don't have it in here. I have a 10-inch mag spoon. I was winging, like I just am like a lure junkie, so I throw light stuff, small stuff. So in a new environment like this with these new fish and reading their actions and how to catch them in new depths, it's exciting. Like I got a bunch of small frame and large frame 1 ounce spinner baits. Some are to get bit on the drop, some are to burn or to slow roll. Because I've thrown spinner baits for so long and caught a ton of fish. Like a lot of times they're just super generic and you don't get the things you need, right? Like a heavy weight with small blades and things like that. So
Charlie and Daniel went down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I tied those up, it was like
it's a fun bite, dude.
Difference. It was a huge difference. So
it's a fun bite too, though.
We were making big spinner baits. We were getting musky blanks and
yeah. Look,
we're making big stuff.
So here's the
musky blanks.
Here's the small frame, right? That's like the 1 ounce. I don't have any blades on, but that's like the 1 ounce little guy, it's really small. And then the big frame one is, you can see there.
Yeah.
Once that has blades on, it's like a 7/0 hook. But they're two different bites, right? Like this has the weight in a certain place. This would be like for the harbors. And that's where I've caught them there. And this, I would fish up in the kelp or, somewhere more horizontal. But I like this big frame, even for largemouth, right? For largemouth, I prefer this here. I prefer the big frame. But blade combos are huge too. And, a lot of times with spinnerbaits, you can't get the blade combos that you need. So I'm just going hard on all this stuff down here. Hold on, I'm my dog out.
Carl?
Yeah. I'm just, I'm going to be pushing into all the retailers, Tackle Express, Fisherman's Access, all the local shops, expanding everywhere with my ABS, some of my 6.5 inch, the 6.5 inch version, that I have.
That's what I'm looking for. That looks really cool, man.
I've been throwing, like this is brand new, right? But this is the one I've been throwing for years or whatever and developed. So these are the ones that I have. It's 6.5 inches, but they're pretty fat if you haven't seen them. It's not like a skinny bait, but it has a smaller tail and a fast kick, so it still falls vertically like you need it to. It performs well in the salt and the fresh, but especially for the salt. So I have those, and then the bobs. I have my bobs, which is my favorite swim bait in the earth. And I actually started making it for calico down here, but it's like the best striper, bass, everything. The 5.5 inch that I put on a jig head. I put a video up a while ago of it just like shaking. This has been I'm the only one really who's been throwing this. I sold some years ago, but I've been throwing this. This is like, I never don't have this on, right? So I'm finally making these, and it's just like, I can pull it. It's a hybrid grub body, I guess, swim bait. And you can see that it's like ringed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It already has so much action in your hand.
Yeah, it has a keeled bottom. You can see. Can you see it like a triangle bottom instead of staying round?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it tapers down towards the tail.
Yeah, it's like a V. It's like a V down here, right? So it's a hybrid. But the reason I stuck with the grub, even though it's not like fancy, because I love it for jig heads and swim baits. But when you rig it, you're able to like judge, right? You're able to like put it on the hook and say, okay, the hook needs to come out at this line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very easy to. And that could be an issue. Even, I mean, I've done it for so long and it's still
Dude,
like,
I've destroyed so many baits trying to get it right.
perfect in the middle. And it's really, yeah, it's really easy to do so. This is, I'm going to go heavy on this. It's going to come in a 5-pack for $15. They're kind of big.
Nice.
I'm trying to, I got to charge something. And I've always kind of stayed away from the soft plastics, but I'm going to go kind of hard and see if I can make enough to kind of sustain. But, the resin stuff has always been my bread and butter. But moving into production, I'm just trying to sell that stuff and like my hot knife thing and all the support items to keep it going so I can keep developing new baits like that new anchovy worm thing. That's actually with the ball tail. It's actually a swim bait. That thing swims like a minnow, like a silverside or a smelt. The tail just it wiggles subtly, like a.
That's cool.
Take hard, so you can put it
on
a rig, but you could also put it on drop shot or a Ned rig, and it looks like a blenny or something.
Daniel fills up a rigs full of slugs.
You can fill
calls them Alabama sluggers. Dude, I saw that. I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And he sticks
a freaking giant sandbass on it.
Yeah, you got to match the mood, or whatever. Yeah, I'm always trying new stuff. So I'm never.
So what's fun with the Alabama Slugger is it's such a good jerk bait alternative because instead of just swimming in a rig like most people do, you get to throw this thing around the docks and just pop it hard. And I mean the amount of action it has, and then along with the fall action, oh dude, it's absolutely bananas.
Yeah, sometimes that's what they want, like not to swim, That's why that big fluke that he was talking about works so well. You just throw it out and let it swim in a circle down. It just circles down. And whatever it is about it, the calico just...
And you can kind of jerk that too.
You can, but this captain in San Diego that runs a party boat, Seaforth, he was like, bro, I need like 1 million of these. He caught like a 10 on it, hella calico. And I'm like, how are you fishing it, dude? And he's like, bro, I just throw it over the side and let it sink on a beast hook, and they just fucking smoke it. And then I started doing that, and I was like, oh, wow. Even on the Delta, the striper eat it like that. But like this last time out, it was kind of tough. And I'm like, I went from like calling my shot the last trip to like, where are these fucking fish? And there's everything. Yeah. And then I'm like, let me see if they want this weird fall, So I pulled that fluke out and I was like, started feeding it line. And then it's like under the boat behind me, It didn't take long for a calico to come up and just suck it in,
So you're going to make that, are you going to bring that back?
All those are coming back. Everything.
He's going to have them next week.
Yeah, I'm going to have them at the PCS show.
Are you having that short pound bag or what? Because that thing went fast, bro.
I know. This week I'm going to re-up on multiple colors and everything. So that's part of it is like, instead of getting like 50 like I used to, and sometimes I'd have to sit on it, I'm trying to grow and get a lot of things, right? Like I'm going to have my store this year will be in stock with staples continuously instead of like small releases. I'm just trying to grow in that direction of like, because I've been doing it. I've sold so many baits and like the handmade stuff is there, but I've never been shy about saying I want to grow Toxic into like a big nationwide brand. And I've made everything like fishing is everything to me. It always has been.
But there's something about like those little releases, like those limited releases, it makes people just like want it more, know?
Yeah, for sure. Like I understand all that, but that's what I mean. Like the limited release will be there, but then I had to
have stock other things.
Yeah, I had to test the waters. Now when I go back, I'll have green, blue, tan, whatever, I'm able to get in larger numbers. Yeah. And then those will be available. Like the beanies went fast, but I re-upped the beanies, but they, I re-upped and they were, now they're chilling in stock, which is great. I enjoy having in stock, hearing about this PCS. Where can I find the info? Man, just go.
It's everywhere.
Mesa, bruh. Go to Costa Mesa Thursday to Sunday. It's worth it. It's a dope show. I've been to hella shows, Bassmaster Classic, and that's amazing and stuff, right? But the PCS show is fire, bro. It's fire.
And yeah, you can
Now-
you can text it, because we're not going to be able to put up the information right now, but you can text any of us. PCS, someone's going to put it in the comments. Like,
Yeah.
if Waterman's here, he'll put it in.
Hey, comment section. Can you guys put the information up?
The
so we can
PCS
do that?
info?
Thanks,
Yeah,
comment
Costa Mesa
section.
Fairgrounds, 6th through the 9th, sir.
Hey, before we go any deeper into this conversation, I wanted to just say something real quick. There's been a hot topic going on today, and it's about picking up after yourselves when you're fishing. Guys, if you get stuck, sometimes it's hard to get your bait back, and I understand you have to break off, but if you get stuck on a dock, or you're retying, you're afraid, don't throw your line in the floor. Pick it up, put it in your pocket, drop it off, throw it off when you finish fishing. If you got a pack of baits, and you're done with the last one, make sure you throw your pack away. Don't throw it on the floor. A lot of the spots that we used to fish before are very now like controlled by security, and it's not comfortable fishing anymore. So if you guys are out there fishing, man, respect the spot, right? Nobody wants to see trash.
Trash.
And
what's a bummer is, I know, like when I started shore pounding, and you guys probably did the same thing, you'd see trash once in a while, and it was obviously bait and weight guys. But now you're starting to see trash where it's like, dude, those are kind of our people leaving trash.
Also, if you're out there and you see that trash, man,
pick it up. Yeah,
it's not yours. I hope you guys are picking it up, because we all.
Dude, we were out this Sunday. I don't know how much line I had to put in my pocket, man. Me and Daniel.
There's
I've pulled so much stuff into the boat.
There's this product in Japan. I was trying to get made here. It's like a pocket line winder. You put them in your thing, and it's just kind of like, it has like these teeth in it, and you put your line in it, and you just spin it, and it catches it up. It's super helpful, because line is a pain, especially in the salt. Like, I'm replacing my leader. You know what I'm saying? It's getting chewed up. I'm fucking got 5 liters on the floor.
Yeah.
And then you try to wind it up, and it pops out. So maybe I'll put something together for guys this year.
That would be cool, man. Like
in Japan, they have products like that. You know what I mean? I actually made one for my boat that was electric that worked really well. You just like push a button, it's like, zzzz, but it just whips it up. But yeah, carry a bag or something, because that sucks. Everybody hates.
Yeah, man, it's getting worse and worse. Like,
yeah, don't be that guy.
If you're out there drinking too, man, like, I mean, just pick up after yourself. I'm not gonna go into more detail.
Yeah,
just make sure you guys pick up.
Throw your sodas away.
Yeah, just clean your spot. All right, and enough said.
These.
So yeah,
I got these.
Back to PCS. You know what booth number you are, Caesar?
I'm not a booth this year.
Who are you gonna be with?
I'm gonna be at all my retailers.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Because I don't want to directly compete, So
yeah.
I'm going to be with Fisherman's Access, Tackle Express, Performance Tackle. That's the local shop. Mark, actually, I got.
We're always spending time at Mark's shop.
Yeah, so we're going to have specials over at Mark's on the Toxic Swim. That's the other thing, is I'm going to be heavy promoting the Coastal and the Toxic and the Sniper Swim.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Toxic and the Sniper Swim are so good for the salt. When I'm out there, anytime I'm using a heavier, like, just not a smaller rod, like, they work so well. Like, and they're amazing A-rig rods, everything. Like, when I made them for swim baits, I made sure the guides were able to throw braid to leader, Yeah. And I also made sure that they were double-footed guides, 7 up, so that they don't like push out, because I'm kind of heavy on my stuff. So it's a great option for the salt, all the way around. So I'm going to be out there.
I'm big on double-footed guides.
I mean, I'm just rough on my stuff, right? So I don't really
same boat. Yeah,
and out there, right? A lot of times we're using braid, and it's like, come on, bro, you got a little bit of a dead, quote unquote, dead spot. I fished 1 million rods, bro. You ain't feeling the dead spot from a double-footed guy, man. Unless you're like doing some highly specialized spinning rod things. I could see that, right?
So talk about that. What's a dead spot on a rod? Like what?
So the more guides you add to a rod, right, it's going to inhibit the flex in that area. So, and it also can add like a vibration dampener. So when people want to feel vibrations through the rod, the more times you have a wrap on there and everything. And it also, some people adds a little weight too, right? So that's what specialized techniques.
A marginal weight.
Yeah. So if I'm using like a Spybait rod, right, I want light guides, spinning rod, as few guides as possible, right?
Like a 6-guide rod.
Yeah, or just even like with a down wrap, right? That's why
Yeah.
LDC hasn't figured it out. When you have a down wrap, you only need like 7 guides, even on an 8-foot rod. I mean, that's the point of letting it lay. And since you're using
that's
less
how I
guides,
do all mine. All of my personals are down wrapped.
Yeah, and then you could get away with the double-footed guides because you're saving weight by only using 7, right? And with the Swimbait rod, I really don't give a crap to put it, like I don't put them on. I have 10 guides on mine. They work great. I'm just tuned in, and I try not to think too much about those details until they really affect me, and they haven't. They haven't affected me in the way that I fish. And like I said, if I was doing some highly specialized light line or very sensitive bottom dragging with a football or like a Ned rig over a gravel bottom, I get it. I get it. I get that there's a use, but I'm just speaking in generalities and for the way I fish, and especially now out here in the saltwater and stuff. Like I need some juice, Man, you know what I mean? Like I want these guys, bring your NRX out here and have a 3-pound sand bass break it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I'm in this weird spot where like I like to fish heavy, but now that I'm guiding, I'm out so much, I'm pushing the limit of how light I can go. And one of the cool things Grant from Waterman's done for me is I got some light rods that are built out heavy. So they're like really light blanks, but double-footed, oversized guides.
Yeah.
Where I can do that 300 casts a night, multiple days a week.
Yeah.
Still just put that hurting on them.
Well, Caesar, you fished the Coastal 764, right?
Of course, I fish all the coastals since day one.
Dude, that rod is like it's a has that
does everything.
It's sensitive rod, but man, it has the backbone for sure.
So the 764 is my bob rod. That's what I call it. So, and that means I've caught stripers up over 20 on it. It's my chatterbait rod. I've used it as a frog rod. I've used it as a punch rod. I've used it as I was out there at the wall using it as a deep drop jig rod. I had a 100-gram jig on it, and it was just doing all the work. The 764, the 744 is actually kind of my new deal because I kind of like shorter rods, especially with braid. Now that I'm getting older, just like what you were talking about, like being tired and stuff.
How short do you like?
Bro, I mean, in the freshwater, I was getting down to like 7.2, but that 7.4, I like it just as much as a 7.6 for sure. Right.
I was gonna say I'm like I used to be over 8, and now I'm like 7.10's kind of my sweet spot.
Well, my rod's 7.6, my Toxic Swim, and I throw up to depths 250s on that shit. So I don't need an 8-foot rod. But I mean, I see it. Like I actually have an 8'3", 8'4" medium heavy low down a custom Swimbait rod.
Yeah,
is standard, and it's a great like deep crank style rod because it has a lot of flex. And I have the 8.6 extra heavy; those are for swim baits and stuff. So I'll fish them occasionally, but my preference, right? Even with the new Police, the DRT Police, I was cranking the wall out there with it.
Dude, how deep does that go?
I mean, depends what you throw it on. I was throwing it on 20-pound copoly, and I was. You could get like to past 25 and hit, on a long cast, like for 8-9 feet. The way I was throwing it, not thin line. I'm throwing 20-pound copoly, not braid and shit. And, but it was easy to crank down. Like I was hitting the bottom like 20 to 25.
It's funny to hear 20-pound, not thin.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're calling.
I'm like 40-pound.
Well, it's 20-pound copoly all the way down, right? Like if I was throwing braid, it would have got a lot deeper with the leader. But I don't throw braid crankbaits, especially.
Why not?
Because you lose fish.
Interesting.
I'm curious why.
Because
I've only thrown crankbaits on braid.
You don't have enough stretch, like especially spotties. It's light. It's night and day difference to have stretch in your line with treble hook baits.
Very easy to just pull the crank from their mouth, especially if you're speed cranking.
Now my crankbait rod has a glass tip on it. I wonder if that makes a difference.
No, I mean I'll tell you this. With
I'm not a big crank guy.
Well, I'm just saying with treble hooks in general, right? You're gonna run into the issue of losing fish because your rod isn't soft enough. Because treble hooks, they bite, but they're on the outside. They twist. They work against each other, right? So pretty much you hook them on the wind, and you don't need the hook set, right? So the soft rod isn't there. Nothing's there for the hook set. Like you reel into them, especially saltwater guys already reel into stuff, so it's perfect.
Yeah,
reel into them and load it, and then you just keep tension, and the rod keeps it. Because what will happen is, especially when fish come vertical on crankbaits or on treble hooks, they come up, and then any directional change, your rod unloads, and when your rod unloads, and they don't have any pressure on, and it comes out. So the soft rod is good because it keeps even a little pressure to keep those trebles hung in there, right? So, and also the way I've been cranking down there, there's a lot of the bottom isn't so like, it doesn't seem like in the salt. In the mud, who cares, right? Fucking but when I'm down there fishing shallow rocks or like whatever's down there on the bottom on the wall, inside of the wall harbor, it'll be like coral or something down there, you know. You could feel it. You could feel the treble, like the lure hang.
Yeah.
With braid, it'll wedge, and with copal, you can and then give it line and let it come back up. Like I've done it. I've even with swim baits with braid and swim baits. I used it for a long time, and I mean, even in the only time I think you really need it is when they're like in wood maybe and you have to move it. Even spooks, bro. Big striper on a spook. On the Delta, they eat spooks. Even out here, they eat spooks. I've already been dabbling in the stripers right here by my house. And for a spook, you just use the rod you're talking about. A glass tip, like the softest rod. The softest rod you can get away with because the big fish eat it, and you need whatever. I don't know why. I guess I'm explaining what it kind of is, but crankbaits use it. I'm using all of them, bro. I'm using Mans. I'm using all the vintage deep divers. Magnum OSD, fucking 6XD, 10XD, 8XD.
What's your favorite? Let's go with that. What's your favorite crankbait?
I don't have favorite crankbaits because every crankbait exhibits a different quality, right? Like you could switch from one crankbait to another and fire the bite right back up. I mean, in my experience, right? All this is new to me in the salt. I've done some stuff, but in general, fish behavior and the way crankbaits work, they key. There you go. I rod crank Junior C.
Yep, that's the one.
The problem is with a lot of the Genesis series, if you try to use braid to leader, you're not going to be able to use it because they have the micro guides. But like he said, for spotties, if you're throwing straight fluoro or copal,
that's the rod that I use for crankbaits.
You do? I just can't throw those with braid to leader because the guides are so small.
Because the guides are tiny, huh?
Yeah.
When me and Charlie
Gary, are you throwing straight like fluorocarbon or are you braid? Chime in.
It's just hard to throw braid with those little hooks. You know, it's like all fish, right? It's like
when me and Charlie were chasing stripers, we were doing jerk baits, but it was the same thing. We were actually straight braid, no leader. And we had to really loosen our drag because we were finding that we pull it right out of the fish's face.
Short leader.
And it's kind of making sense what you're saying. It's like, if we'd have been on something stretchy, we wouldn't have been popping them out.
For sure. And if you listen to like Big Rob talk about trophy striper, he's like, all I throw is 40-pound copoly, you know? And
is copoly a type of mono?
Copoly is like mono. It's not as stretchy and it's not as buoyant. So it's like between fluoro and mono.
Okay.
It's Iser, triple X Iser line is copoly. I use P line PF, the original copoly. Triple X,
Okay.
CXX is copoly, but it's cable. It's so thick. It's just brutal line. I will not use CXX. It's the worst line. People will regular PF is thin and strong and over tests its rating. So it's just, it worked right away. As soon as I moved here, I was catching a bunch of spotties on my braid, the leader, on a spinning rod, and I was doing it, and then I was losing them. Then I talked to some OGs, and I was like, I need to stop listening to people. And I just did what I knew what would work and save.
Yeah.
And then I instantly stopped losing all the spotties. You know what I mean? That just worked for me or whatever. Everybody has their own deal. But I throw it on
yeah, for sure.
I throw spinning rods on small cranks because you get way more casting distance, and you can crank super deep with them and stuff.
What rod were you on when you caught that big crankbait fish, Charlie?
I was on the 793.
Ooh, I have the 794. I never fished the 794.
No, actually 794. Sorry, I just got my 793.
Charlie pulled out an 8-pound calico on the crank.
Ooh, that's a fatty, dude.
It was crazy.
Hey, Caesar.
He didn't modify it or anything.
Yeah.
Ask me. It's one of those hook, like he caught it right? Like it was right.
Yeah.
He had no way to spit it out.
Dude,
It was
like a generic unmodified Bass Pro lure. It was like you were so lucky you landed that.
But I will say
those crappy lure, quote unquote, they have enough deviation when they manufacture them because they don't pay attention that you could get some killers.
Oh, I'm just talking about the split rings and the hooks on a fish that powerful.
But check it out though. Hold on. But all right.
Upgraded.
All that aside, right? All that aside, I mean, yes, it was a non-modified crankbait. It was regular, straight out the box, but I threw it at the right time, right? I knew I was looking at what was going on, what the fish were biting, and I told Luke, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna throw a crankbait. He's like, throw it. I second guessed it. I second guessed it, and dude, it worked. We hooked up. We got like 30 fish on the crank at night.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Somebody told me something about that years ago. Like they don't always eat the crank at night, and then I just picked it up and slapped.
Dude, it's so fun.
They don't always eat the crank at night, but
and you know what?
It was like
we've had lots of times where we can't get them on crank at night, but when they do eat them on the crank at night,
I've had days. I like to fish in the daytime. I don't even like to fish at night, but I've been throwing the crank and they're not eating it, and then I pick up the right bait and it's fucking yonk!
Boom!
You're like, oh shit, there's a fucking pile right here. So, and I'm not saying that like you can't crank with braid or nothing. Like everybody has their shit, but for me, it's like, it only comes in to play when it comes into play when it's like that one fish. And I've lost so many big fish because I'm like, oh fuck it, I'll just throw it like this, and then that's the day they eat, and the braid straightens my hook, or this isn't in the salt, this is stuff. But so now I just done it so long that I get it. I'm in my ways, right? Like I don't think that my ways are the only way by any means, but for me, but
it's also the right way for you.
All I can do is give people advice the way I had success, right? But I don't. If I'm on the boat with somebody and they do something that I don't never seen before, bro, that's like my favorite part of the trip. Because, dude,
it was like we had Gary on, and he was talking about big swim baits on heavy heads, and we went out like maybe like a week later, and dude,
that weekend,
Luke stuck a big, what was it, like a 6-pound, 7-pound sand bass?
I caught a couple big ones doing his technique, just going heavy head really fast down low. We got a couple on that trip.
Bro,
you guys saying that is going to stop so many people being like, oh yeah, this is what I do. They're going to be like, oh, these guys are going to steal my technique tomorrow. But
here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. I was going out, people are like, it's tough. The water's clear and it's cold. It's like 57 degrees. And, it's just been a tough thing. And I'm like, okay, it's clear. It's cold. Keep your boat off the fish. don't put your shadow over where they're fishing, and then fish the conditions. When it's clear and cold, going slow is not usually the way to go because you want to make them react. So I just instantly started hitting them with the fucking straight sledgehammer in like 60 feet. And then it was like bites all day. I didn't even cast at the wall, but I just put the pieces together, right? Clear water, deeper, and then make the fish react. And if they wouldn't react, then I said, okay, let me just put something small on and drag it around, and maybe that'll be. But if they're in 60 feet, fuck, you know, when they're biting, the current's moving, and then your little thing is flailing,
flailing around. It can't stay in one spot.
I get frustrated. I'll swear to God, I'll put like 2-ounce tungsten weights on my shit and just cast it. I'm not
when it was
down there.
When it was super clear and no one was catching, we were still doing good on our trips. We just, like you said, you just gotta like pivot with the conditions.
Yeah, you just have to adjust. So, and that's what I did. At first I came here and I kind of had these ideas of people that I seen on the internet, my friends, and like, oh, this is cool, like all the things, which it was. I learned a lot fishing over the years, but then once I reset and was just like, okay, I'm just not going to take all the info that I've heard from people about saltwater bass fishing and throw it out the window. And I did that too, because my favorite part of fishing is figuring stuff out, right? Like, so I don't want people to tell me what to do, really. Like maybe a clue. Of course, I'll listen to fishing, but I don't like that. You know, it's not my deal. Like if you tell me to go here and throw this, and I do it and catch one, that's your fish. That's not my fish. That's
yeah.
because I like the puzzle personally, right? Like so.
Yeah.
So once I threw all that out and just started fishing conditions, I was smacking like even spotties. I started throwing the RC1, like the BDS one. It's like a little crankbait this big that dives like 6 inches. They're just smoking it on the surface, like actually by the ramp, just right by Davies launch.
Spotties on, you said spotties on surface?
Like this far under, they just come up.
Yeah. It was we were just talking about that today.
I reeled it really fast. You know, I just reeled it really fast, and then they came up. So I don't know. I'm having a blast doing these things, you know, like, and just I've always thought outside the box. So now I get to do it here. Like this, like the line through is perfect. I'm going to peg this thing. I'm going to put a treble hook here. So I'm going to fish this kind of mid column, not get it snagged up, and try to get something bigger than like 4 or 5 pounds. You know, I've been getting a lot of 4-pound sandies at the wall, 3-pound calicos, but I haven't really got on my own like anything over 5 yet in the past few weeks. So I'm like, what the heck, bro? I'm like a big fish fiend, you know. So
well, it's one of those things at the wall where like every cast has that potential, though.
Yeah, I'm just learning and grinding it out. Like all I know is I know nothing. Last time I was out, the water's coming over the back, the fog rolled in over the top of me over there by Point Furman. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Where am I? So I was
dude,
I just blew down.
Me and Luke almost got stuck in one of those gnarly fogs.
It was weird. So
dude,
it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't like stop fishing, but it's like you gotta listen. Let's go.
We were racing the fog that day. We were like,
that's crazy,
full throttle as the fog was moving in with us. Like we stayed kind of right in front of it the whole trip in.
Oh, I just fished in it. I'm like, whatever.
This was bad. This was like,
well, I can see maybe like 30 yards. I can see it was
no.
thick.
This was
I
like
didn't know it. I'm not running. If I can't see, I'll just fish the wall. I
yeah.
Put the boat up. Just fucking. It wasn't lighting over there either. I was like, motherfucker, come on, man.
This was like some horror movie, bro. It's like the fog has eyes.
Pirates of the Caribbean coming in.
Well, it was like all of a sudden there was like 20-foot visibility.
Yeah.
And it was just quick enough we were able to pull right out of it.
Yeah. That's cool.
But it was all of a sudden you couldn't see the wall anymore.
Yeah, I like that. I like all the variables of the ocean. That's why I really wanted to move here too. You know, besides the fact of being down here with my lady and stuff like that. But I've been thinking about making the move for a long time.
So it was in the works for a long time already.
Yeah. My son is 18 now, or he's 19 now. So he's an adult or close, you know. He's an
adult.
So I don't have to be there really anymore, you know. He's a great kid. He's a responsible young man. So he's still up in Northern California going to school and stuff. And I decided to start fresh.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a fresh start with Toxic also, with all the different stuff. I'm going to be going heavy on the swim baits. I did that pre-order because it's like just me and I'm getting my feet under me. And if people want to jump on a pre-order, that makes it easy for me, and them, because I have to take time. So I'm just kind of testing the waters again. And hopefully I can make a bunch of soft baits and make enough, cake to keep it provided down here until I can have them made for me.
Talk about that membership thing you got going on. Is it like a membership thing?
Yeah, it's full now. It's a Toxic test team. It was $500, and we have 50 members, and you get one hard bait every quarter. That I'm only making 50 of, and they're my resin prototypes for what I'm planning on putting in production eventually in ABS. So all 50 of my guys get them, and then there's a survey for them to fill out and give me their feedback. Did you like it? What did you like? What'd you do? And then it's been a slow winter, so I've been kind of like, there's a lot of stuff going their way. Like once I get a bunch of stuff poured, they'll get a pack of soft baits, just like random stuff, but they paid for the membership. They get a card. They have a 10% discount code. Them and any of their friends they want to
share with,
use it. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
And then, it's just been a slow winter, and I know they're probably like, dang, man, he said there's going to be some other stuff, but I'm about to go hard on all the new stuff for them because I appreciate the support, and it's like, it started in August or September, and that's when it'll reset. I already dropped the first one, and then the second one I'm working on right now, it'll be done in a couple weeks probably for those guys. So it was actually the idea of my lady, and it worked out really great, and it's been invaluable for info. And I have cool stuff planned for them. And as I develop more stuff, there's like cool prototypes coming from the factory that I'll be able to share with them and things like that. So
what I'm excited about is you said that, you're going to make baits for whichever environment that you're in. So what's cool is, you're a very creative person to begin with, but what's cool about that is now we get to see you kind of getting settled in, you're fishing more, and you're like, oh, I want this, I want that. So I can't wait to see how the salt water is applied to in all the future stuff. Like I'm already stoked for it. Like you're saying, like you want to get Toxic up and, just bigger where it is. I'm all for that. I love the idea of growth. I'm working on myself. So it's just like, dude, I'm so excited for like this year, but I'm almost more excited for like 2026. Because that's when it's like all going to be, I want to say like dialed in, even though we'll never be dialed in because, like yourself and myself, there's always going to be something else that we're going to pursue and something more that we're going to pursue. But I'm just so excited right now, just sitting here listening. Dude, it's so cool.
You're talking about what me and Daniel have been on the phone talking about like every day.
Oh, I see you guys have calls without me.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's just
big work guy, too busy to talk.
Yeah, I built Toxic up, and it's where it is, and it's going good. And I've always wanted to grow into conventional. I was just so slammed and busy trying to maintain the swim bait side that it was like feasible. You know what I mean? But now I've always fished everything. My favorite bait for bass, pretty much, if I had to zone one in that wasn't mine, it'd be a Senko. And I took that right out to the wall, big ass 7-inch Senko right to the walls with jump.
That's usually what I'm using. I'm using Senkos, and then once I catch the fish, I put a dowel bait in its mouth.
What a good friend.
Hey, real quick, Dave said, "What's up with the dingly ball baits?"
Dave Day. I got dingly balls.
I love Dave.
Those are due. Those are the Old Man River Juniors. Those are due in they're being produced right now. Actually, they're being produced overseas. Like I said, I have 5,000 packs coming. I have the samples. I've been fishing them. They're amazing. There's 10 colors coming. Tons of stuff. They should be in all the local stores. They're gonna retail for like, it's like an 8-pack. They'll be like $11 or $12. But it's like premium plastic. I can't do Zoom prices, you know,
Mhm.
even at even through
by
the
the-
factory. You know,
By
like
the
I
way,
have,
shout out to Dave. Dave's been one of our supporters literally since episode 1.
Dave's my OG, bro. He came up to the Delta. We fished a few times. He's taken me on his
Dude, I
boat.
saw that.
He's my buddy, dude. That's my guy.
Oh, we lost Luke.
He lost.
I wonder what happened.
Lost
Hopefully his
power.
phone didn't die.
Yeah,
man, I'm stoked, dude. Ever since I see, I'm a saltwater guy, right? Ever since I see you bring this out,
yeah, I got him. I got these ones for the shirts.
I know. I'm what?
Hold on, I got this new hat. These new hats. They're not the surf hat that I'm wearing. That's like the active mesh.
Yeah,
it's a flat bill version.
Nice.
And I'll have the calicos on there, but I just have to I run these, and this is expensive. Because it's direct embroidery, which I like to do.
Well, yeah.
I have to sell them for like over $30, so they don't always sell super heavy, you know. But I'm still gonna put a bunch of calicos on the site now that I'm here, you know. But these are cool because I could sell these for cheaper, and it's a press. And with this surf style hat, you know, it's the same materials. This is just a flat bill version.
Yeah.
But I'm able to do it for a decent price. And then these are really, you know, they're kind of high end hats, to be honest with you. I know it's just the Yupong, but that's the best hat. I've tried.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, this is
hat, bro.
This is one of those like cool hats.
Yeah,
you know, it fits well.
I go with the Yupong Classics only, and not because of price or nothing, because I've tried all of them, Richardson, everything. These ones aren't Yupongs and the surf hats, but they just more than like how the best quality, they're great quality, but people know how they're going to fit, right? Like when you get it, it's like the standard hat, I feel like. Because sometimes you get a hat that's weird and it's like this big bucket and it's like sticks off your head like this tall. And you're like, dang, man, I don't even want to wear that hat. Which some people do, but
yeah,
I'm going through almost that exact same thing, but I'm buying all these blanks and I'm just like testing them out. Just recently, you know, I bought several shirts and was like feeling up the blends. I was like, oh, I like this one. This one doesn't chafe the nipples at all. Like, all right, this one's gonna be good. I mean, if you're wearing a shirt and you're casting for 7 hours, you don't want that thing to be coarse. And you're just like, dude, like I'm just chafing all over. It's hot.
Well, I don't know,
sweaty,
man.
Dude.
I dig like I'm like I grew up with pro clubs, and a lot of people don't like pro clubs. You know, they say they're too thick, but
I rock pro clubs.
Dude, I love pro clubs, man. I just love how it feels.
But I don't fish in that. I use sun shirts. I always fish sun shirts. Even at night, I fish in sun shirt most of the time. Unless it's summer, and then I'm out there with like shorts only on. Fucking no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Shorts only.
I'm a bum, dude.
Welcome back, Luke.
Dude,
internet went out.
I love that weather, that like kind of springish, where you're in a t-shirt and flip flops, and it's midnight, and you're just spotty fishing, and you're just it's like it's a different level of experience because you're just mad chilling at that time.
Yeah, I mean that's why I moved here. That's why I partially was one of the things is like Long Beach is the shit, bro. Long Beach has the best weather. It has I didn't even know I'd love it this much. Like Long Beach has dope weather, a mix of people, like cool
it's a melting pot, bro. Yeah, it's a melting pot.
There's hella good food. There's hella spots. It's close.
Some bomb coffee. Some bomb coffee.
Oh yeah.
Pupusas.
Some of my best memories are fishing the back bays of Long Beach. My buddy's like, hey, you're not going to believe this. I got mac and cheese. I got a steak for us and a baked potato. I was like, first off, we aren't going to be able to fish after that. We eat that. We're
Is that
done.
Gavin?
Yeah, dude. Gavin and I pull up to the pylon farm. And we're like huddling next to the pylon so no one sees us, just munching and grubbing. Slightly cold, but also like lukewarm food that's been sitting it for, you know, since 6. It's maybe like 10, 11 o'clock.
Yo, so check this out, right? I grew up on the Delta, basically. I grew up down here, and then I moved there when I was 16. I got a boat before I got a car. Had a bass boat. Had a boat in high school. So all I did was fish the Delta when it was backwoods, all the shit, you know, like developed. It's still, there's just houses. There's not a lot of shit, right? See, look.
I think it's a double entendre.
Yeah, it's the middle of nowhere, right? Like, so I'm so juiced to be here and like pull up to Davies and Gelson's is right there. Just get a sandwich, pull up to Ballast Point or something, go to the fucking, what's that? I got to go to the Chowder Barge.
Oh, right there in Wilmington?
I haven't done that yet.
Oh, bro.
Is it good?
It's fire. It's fire. It's hella good.
Did you fish after?
Now, do you know that Gelson's has a dock?
Go to the park. Huh?
You know that Gelson's has a dock too. You can drive over in your boat to Gelson's and dock up.
Oh no, you have to go inside past Tantalum or whatever. Huh?
Yeah, you could either, like you said, drive in and grab something, or you can launch your boat and drive around back.
Oh, that's dope. See, I'm glad I know that. I'm saying, like, I like the convenience, right? It's super dope, and there's nothing cooler than driving my bass boat out to the ocean.
You know what else you could do? And our buddy Gavin did this too. Is he'd have a pizza dropped off at the ramp.
Oh,
he'd come pulling up, grab his pizza, and go.
I'm a health freak. I got to be honest with you, bro. I'm like, I got juice on the boat. I got some juice and you know, something slight and healthy for my ass out there. I'm an old man, bro. I wear barefoot shoes. So, you know, I started doing that a few years ago, actually, just because I got tired of coming down here and like having sea legs, you know, on the deck of the boat. So I got my core muscles. Now I'm just.
So let me ask you this.
Up there.
So is there going to be, are there plans to do Toxic Day here in LA?
Yeah, I'm trying to John from Statement said, what's up? I'm trying to
what's up?
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out the best venue. It's just been a slow winter, but like PCS, I'm going to be networking as much as I can with everybody to figure out, because I know how much it costs up north, and I think it might be the same here. So I'm going to throw a Toxic Day wherever I have to throw it, right? Especially down here. And if it doesn't work out to be like a Swimbait mega buster, and it's just like some Swimbait stuff and now more saltwater stuff, like I have to, I'm a Swimbait manufacturer. I have tons of designs. It'll always be my bread and butter, right? But like, I'm just always like being part of the community, the fishing community. Down here, now I'm part of this angling community, you know. So,
and by the way, speaking of networking at PCS, you should swing by our booth. Where are we going to be at, Charlie?
Through booth 390.
I don't know.
390.
No, 930. 930. Sorry.
Walk around until I find you.
Don't mind my.
I'll be all over the show because I don't have a booth this year, so I'm just working. I'll be there every day. I'll be there every day from open to close. So I'm going to be networking. I'm going to be having dinners. I'll fucking be buying drinks for people, even though I don't drink. The whole deal is going on.
I got you. I'm not. I don't.
Nah, I don't fuck with that shit no more.
Booth 930, guys. We'll be at booth 930. Yeah, it'll be a couple of guys around there that you guys salty bastards.
Come get your shirts.
Nice.
So, and then just to bring up Glizzy's at the ramp, we're thinking about May. PCS was too close, and everybody's gonna be burned out for that first week of the month, 2 weeks of the month from all their planning and stuff. So maybe in May we'll have a Glizzy's at the ramp. We'll think of a date.
That's Glizzy's in the gutter.
Glizzy's in the gutter.
God damn, what's wrong with me?
Dude, but that was cool, man. And you know,
I'll be there with my boat this year, you know?
Hey, dude, Glizzy's at the ramp is not one of those like things that, we get permits for. It's kind of like a guerrilla style, event. So what? They don't know where we're going to do it this year.
Nah, I mean,
I know where we're going to do it.
I think it's pretty chill, you know?
Daniel,
it's just to hang out.
We have permits, and we're like, we're not doing them. We're not doing them anymore. You can just go ahead and be stressed.
Yeah, it's just a meetup.
It's just a meetup, nothing crazy, man. We're not having booths. I mean, I think for your event, right, Caesar, for like Toxic Day, you have booths and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, last year we had 55 vendors.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, we just got a bunch of people eating hot dogs.
Yeah, you guys are just having a picnic. It seems like to me.
Yeah.
Perfect for that. And if
Well,
you're
it's
worried
gonna
about
be-
payouts,
Dave
you're
gets
worried
it.
about
Stay in the
payouts,
grass.
just do it online. That's the only thing.
Keep it
that
on the grass.
tournaments. That's the only thing that comes up with tournaments for permits is like pay, right? It's
Yeah.
like the payout. So just pay online or just do prizes or something. You good?
So any toxic sun shirts coming out? You got Tom. What's up, Tom? Dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some cut and sew stuff worked on, so that's what I'm kind of been waiting on. But I got a press, so I'm probably gonna do some sublimation stuff. You can see my press right there, actually, right in my room. I'm gonna do some sublimation stuff, small, but I'm trying to get some cut and sew sun shirts made. Nothing crazy, but like where I could have it branded fully.
Yeah, dude. My press lives in the house too.
Yeah, that's. I just do
Shaved
small
nip.
stuff.
Hey, shaved nipples and glizzies. There you go. Hey, I better see you. I better see you this year,
Yeah.
Gary. You better come
Gary-
down.
No,
Gary
he must be.
Gary
He must
acted
be
like
knocking
he
them
didn't
back over
come.
there, talking about shaved whatever. Slow down on the booze, bro.
Gary's pouring without a mask on again.
Oh man.
No, he's not.
Hey, dude.
He stays safe.
I know.
He stays safe.
Hey, kids, there's a lot of new people pouring plastic, by the way. Get yourself a mask. Do yourself a favor. Love
Get your
yourself.
60 So at work, we call them a $60 insurance policy.
Well, you need to make sure you get the VOC cartridge, black cartridge, VOC, volatile organic compound. You don't need the pink cartridge. That's for acid gas. That's coming from someone that was emergency response leader at an acid plant in a refinery. So you can trust me on that. You just need the black VOC. You don't need the filters. That's for particulate. But definitely
Okay,
get one.
good to know.
Yeah, why not
dumb
the
and I
pink
have
ones?
The pinks
pink
are for
one.
acid gas,
Mm.
like SO2, SO3.
So like when I spray automotive, I use the pinks.
You could use it, right? It's not gonna but VOC is for black is VOC, volatile organic compound.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't filter particulates. It's just carbon. So
Yeah.
if it's wet,
It's just fumes.
You want to make sure that you have the P100 on the outside of it.
Yeah.
For particulates. So micro balloons, sanding, even wet stuff, anything that has moisture in it, that will carry the fumes through the carbon, right?
Which is why I like to use the pinks, because I'm spraying automotive.
Well, the pinks have a particulate on them.
The pinks have it built in. You can't even change it.
P100. They have a P100.
The pink.
Make sure it has a P100 particulate filter in the pink. Because I use pink.
Hey, guys.
The pinks have it built in.
Yeah, they sell pink pancakes that are particulate. There has to be a P100 or a P95 particulate. Because
there's a question.
The automotive spray isn't pink. The automotive kit isn't pink.
In the crankbait part, you guys ever switch out the trebles for frog hooks or singles? Use
Frog
braid
hooks
instead
are
of
the
split
double
rings?
hooks, right?
Yeah. I've never have.
I don't know why you want to put a frog hook on there.
So you can put it. So some people put them against so the hooks are up against the crankbait, and then it's snag free, right? But the fish don't get it.
I was saying, but then the fish can't snag on it.
They get it. They get it. Look at Japanese baits. Japanese topwaters have that a lot. And single hooks, I've done it like with glide baits in the salt, like stick baits and stuff. Sure. But I just don't do it for smaller fish. I do it for fish I want to cook. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna hook like a bonita or something on a rapala or a yellowtail, I'll put a single on there so I could just
I put singles on I made a handful where I modified singles because there was some nighttime barracuda action.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm talking like we were catching like 30 barracuda in the night. And it was just a mess with the treble hooks. So we put singles on. And I will say it was easier to release the barracuda, but your hookup ratio went through the floor. It became much harder to hook them on the singles.
Yeah. Especially when they're slapping,
Yep.
When they start slapping at it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited because I don't really know about the salt. That's like what makes it so exciting for me. Because I don't know. Everything looks good or bad. I'm like driving around the harbor, just looking for stuff on the bottom with my side scan. I'm just like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, what's that? I just bomb a jig. Like that's why I want a heavy jig. I don't want to wait. I'm trying to fish 65 feet. I have no problem with throwing in 3 feet and the next cast just sliding out to like 80 if I can or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
deep water makes it easy, to be honest with you. When they're in deep water, a lot of times, just in general, fish, and you can get them to go, that's good because they don't see shit up top. You could just yoink on them,
Yeah.
I don't know what hanger is 930. We'll post it. I don't know what hanger is gonna be.
Yeah, we got to look at our phones for that. It's going to be the new hanger though. They
But
didn't have
Caesar,
this
plug
hanger
up.
open at
Where
the
you gonna
last
be
show.
at? Where you gonna be at for PCS? Where's your stuff gonna be?
Fisherman's Access, which is in the main hangar, I think. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. Tackle Express is going to have tons of my stuff. Performance Tackle, I think Performance is in the Anaheim building where I was last year. He's in the same place he is every year.
They're right at the opening of it.
Yeah, and then I'll probably be over at Turner's supporting iRod at Turner's.
Nice.
And then I'll be showing up at random booths to run my fat mouth probably.
Does LA Fishing Alliance still have your stuff too?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I haven't talked to Dean. I know they closed the shop. I talked with Dean, and Dean's going to have it there also in whatever capacity he wants to carry it, right? But I'm just a lot of my focus is towards Fisherman's Access and Performance Tackle and Tackle Express at the show because those are my local retailers for my stuff. Like,
Gotcha.
Accessible for people to come in daily and buy stuff, So it's not like they're way cooler. Fisherman's Access in the back. Boom. There you go. In the back of the main hangar. It's not that I think one's better than the other or anything. It's just a business thing, right? That's the reason I don't have a booth. It's just so
I'm gonna tell you
competing.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. We hang out with Performance Tackle because he is cooler than everybody. Everybody can let Mark know I said it.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know where you were going with that.
I love Mark. Joe, big shout outs to Joe. Big shout outs to Mark. It's always cool to hang out at.
We need
at
to
Performance
because I like Performance.
Anyone who's new to the channel, you can go check out our playlist, and we have all sorts of like rigging videos and interviews. And Mark's been kind enough to let us go in the shop and film a lot of those. And he's even done like tournament crankbait upgrade video. So I saw someone in here asking about how we upgrade our crankbaits. Mark does a whole video on it. Check out the playlist.
If you want to see if somebody knows what they're talking about, watch anything that Mark says.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
The guy's a master.
So yeah, no, Mark's always supported us.
Yeah.
He's supportive of Toxic also. So I'm super grateful for Mark. We did that donation drive. That was really cool. A lot of shops were able to donate to the LA fire victims and such. And that was Mark was one that really called me, and Johnny showed up at our event in Long Beach where he took donations, and Mark was there. And then he's like, "Hey, I'd really like to do this with other tackle stores," and he called all the tackle stores himself and set that up. So shout out to Mark for being a real cat.
That was cool.
Yeah, man.
Although they're separate shops, but they're all connected in some way, man. So it's pretty cool.
He reached out to the top, but he was positive. Yeah, it was super positive. I went down to some shop in Huntington Beach. I always forget the name. Fisherman's Hardware, I think.
Yeah.
That was
cool
a cool
shop.
I didn't really hang out much. I was just picking up.
They got a lot of cool fish mounts in there.
Yeah, it's like,
and they got.
I'll tell you what, though, if you're around Fisherman's Access, that shop is dope.
I've never been there.
Oh, that's one of the nicest tackle stores I've ever been in. It's like a Dick's Sporting Goods. Super nice.
Right on.
Yeah,
it's a big shop. Yeah, it's a big shop. It's in Brea.
I mean, it's big, but it has.
It has a lot of stuff.
But aesthetically, it's like super nice too, right? They have like their little section set up.
It's not your shop where you walk in and everything's out of place.
Yeah, like my place. Like score would be.
I should go to more shops, but I don't know. It's like if I'm making a run to a tackle shop, and it's not the closest tackle shop to me, but I almost exclusively go to
It's in
Performance
Brea.
just because I like seeing Mark and Joe.
Well, that's
Well,
where I
here's
go.
here's a shameless plug. My brother-in-law is, the owner of a pizza shop just down from Mark's. So whenever I go visit Performance Tackle, I make the drive a couple more blocks and go to Patrini's Pizza.
Trini's Pizza,
over there.
man.
Yeah, and I just pig out. It's so good.
All the times I go to
Dude.
Performance, and you're just now telling me.
Big shout outs. We got somebody from Utah in here, man. Thanks for
Luke,
hopping on.
Go try it
Yeah.
out and tell me what you think. It's a Neapolitan style pizza, and it's just absolutely killer.
I might give it
All
a
right,
try. I don't
guys.
know. I'm in
Dude,
the
Neapolitan,
pizza
it's like brown, pink, and white.
Yes, it's Neapolitan ice cream pizza. I'm pretty sure
I don't think
an
it's-
Italian somewhere rolled in their grave for that joke.
Hey Caesar, man, thanks for hopping on again, dude. It was fun.
Man.
Yeah, we can't
seeing
wait
you
for
in about a week.
we can't wait for PCS.
Yeah, you'll see me there at the launch ramp. That's about the only place you'll catch me for the next good while.
I'll hit you up. I got some stuff that I want to talk to you about, so that could be pretty cool, man.
I got some space for you guys too.
For sure.
Thanks.
All right, guys. With that being said, man, thank you guys. Dude, the chat was going off. We appreciate you guys, man. I don't know why I can't comment, but thank you guys for hopping on.
Where's your
Luke,
burner
Daniel.
phone?
I don't know. My other
It's
phone's not
always a
working.
pleasure. All right.
Yeah, watch my feed too. I'm going to be going super hard on the advertisement for PCS. If you're wondering what I'm going to have at the show this whole week and into next week, I'll be doing specials. Everybody, follow Toxic. Even if you don't super hard when it comes to PCS, because I'm going to be filming everything. Me and John from Stay Bent are going to be heavy on content, heavy on the community. I'm just wanting I'm like stoked to be here and be part of down here. So I'll be
For
everywhere.
anyone who is watching, Caesar's Instagram is down in the chat. Toxic Baits suck. So if you are active on Instagram or you just want more information, we're all active on Instagram. Come find us.
Yeah.
All right, guys. See you guys
All right,
at PCS.
Yes, sir.
Peace out.
But other than
Thanks,
that,
guys.
come grab some baits.
Yep.
Peace.
All right, guys. Love you guys. Peace.